Cordy. You can jump in if you want. I'm alone. I'm bored. One more time. I didn't. There you go.
Hi,
yeah, I'll take care of the clock. Yeah.
We're on.
Okay. Ready when you are. Go ahead.
We're on.
We're on? We're live? Oh, hey. Hi, everybody. It's a little after 3. Sorry, we're running a little bit late. The the previous draw ran a little late. Yeah, you know how these things tumble along during a bonspiel. But we're getting ready to start the theoretically 2:45 p.m., probably closer to 3:08 p.m. draw here at the Cherry Blossom Bonspiel. These are third-round games in Pool 6 and 7. These are teams that are fundamentally, almost all of them are 1-1, having won one game and lost one game in their first pool. One exception being the Pittsburghers actually are 1 win and 1 tie. We'll get into that later. Our games today are on Sheet A. We'll have those Pittsburghers, who we mentioned earlier, throwing the Redstones, versus the Gudetama on ice, throwing yellow. They're from Pool 6. Now they're in Pool, that's Pool 6 game. Sheet C will be the Ace Trainers, throwing red against Band of Johnsons, also throwing yellow. And Sheet D, Temple of Broom versus the Sweepwalkers. Our feature game on Sheet B will be the RPI 1 team, RPI being Rochester Polytechnic Institute. That is Chris Celi the skip, Kristen Katz vice, Jeremy Katz the second, and Matt Hancock the lead. Playing against Parental Army, Doug Burchesky, Rachel Howell, Steve Dubberstein, and Bob Howell. Both of those teams are also 1-1. RPI defeated Satuma in the first round, and then they lost to Parent Trap to get themselves here. And the Parental Army lost to the Gudetama on ice team that's playing over on Sheet A, and then defeated Buck City. That game was actually early this morning, the first draw, to get here. You may be asking, what's at stake for these teams? The answer is that the winners will clinch at least a spot in an event quarterfinal. Exactly which event, unclear. But at least a quarterfinal somewhere. The losers will still have another game. No one's getting eliminated this round. They'll play once more either this evening or tomorrow morning. And but they will run the risk of being eliminated from the competition if they lose that fourth game. My name's Alan McNeil. I'll be bringing you all the action that is starting now with Matt Hancock's first stone coming down. I got Mindy Carlson on the overheads, as you can see, doing her usual fine job keeping us up to date with the camera. I also have the responsibility to start a clock, which is surprisingly difficult. Okay, we have successfully started a clock. Yay! All right. So that first stone is a reasonable center guard. And now Parental Army lead Bob Howell is being asked to provide a corner guard. I'm also being joined on the commentary for at least a while by Potomac Curling Club member Courtney Shaw. How you doing, Courtney? You're doing okay, except that you're still on mute. You might want to get yourself off mute first. Let's try that again. How you doing, Courtney?
I'm great.
There we go.
I was going to make a crack about you starting the clock because that should be a job that you're really good at.
I know, right? You'd think I'd be better at it, but alas. So this looks like it's going to be, might be a little tight for a corner guard. That is not our game.
I figure I'll hop on for a little bit for a beer since I don't play again until 10 p.m. Best draw schedule ever, said no one.
It's not too bad for me. I had to play twice yesterday, and then I got the 5 o'clock game today. But I had to be here at 10 yesterday morning. That kind of sucked. All right, so that corner guard turned into a back 12-foot. It's guarding the back line. That's important.
Yes.
So next RPI stone on its way. I think he was attempting to draw behind, or was he put up a second center?
I'm getting identified from the ice shed by Beau Dure.
It happens.
Expert commentator.
Do you feel seen?
I feel. Beau always makes me feel seen.
Right. So he's over on sheet C, doing his thing. with his team, the Ace Trainers, and their little Pokemon-themed.
Is that what that means?
Their outfit yesterday was all Pokemon themed. They apparently all did not choose to do laundry last night. Go fig. So that's kind of where we stand. Things are just kind of underway.
The Parental Army.
Yes, the Parental Army.
These are the parents of some notable curlers in the United States.
I'll take your word for it.
Well, it looks like Doug Burchesky. I assume
Yep.
he's the father of Jenna Burchesky.
Yep, and the Howells.
The Howells.
Very definitely, and Dubberstein. So yeah, you're
Yep,
probably right.
And the Dubbersteins.
I am willing to believe you are correct.
There's a second all-parent team, too, that has
The Dunhams.
family.
Yeah.
I don't think they're all parents though. They're playing with Kyle Conrad, and he or Conroy, sorry.
Conroy.
I'm not sure that he even has a girlfriend, so maybe not a parent yet. I'm not sure.
He might have a cat.
That probably doesn't result in a child. If it does, the National Enquirer would like to
Solo-
send you some money.
Solo childbearing as a single man.
It could happen. I'm sure biologists are
That
working
should
on
not
it.
be the topic of this
I
commentary.
feel like that's more of a 10 o'clock draw kind of thing.
Yep. I might need another beer before
Possibly
before
seven.
that
I
happens.
might need another beer before that, and I don't drink much. All right, where are we at here after we're done with the lead stones? We have a yellow in the back 12, behind a cover, a couple center guards. That's about it. Looks like the some of the center guards are about to go bye-bye.
So, Alan, why don't you explain to our listeners why you might want to do that?
Let's see. It's a team with the hammer. So they are doing it in an attempt to free up that center zone so they can have that clean draw at the end if they need it. Undetermined at this point if they're going to need it.
Oh, wait, no, they are not peeling those guards. It looks like they're
No, you're
splitting
right.
the house.
You are correct. I misread that room call.
Yep. So
That's a house split. That's right out of the book. I mean, they're in a position to get there too if they can just trade the hits from here on out. If that makes the house, and I'm not sure it's
oh,
gonna.
come on, Parental Army.
Not quite.
Yeah, they needed their kids there to help them out with that sweep.
Another couple inches and it would have been fine.
So, a shout out. I heard yesterday in the warm room that Chris, is it pronounced Celi, his last
That's
name?
my understanding.
I heard yesterday that Chris Celi is now engaged.
I heard that as well. Many happy returns to him and his spouse to be.
Maybe someday to join the Parental Army.
Who knows?
Or he could have chosen my lifestyle, which is the no kids situation, which is also pretty great.
It happens. It's great if you
this
choose
is a-
it. That's I mean, it's a little deep, but other than that, it's a very nice draw. It becomes shot, well buried.
So I like to say this is a very nice demonstration of why peeling those guards would have been a good option.
Sure.
Because even if they had gotten that second rock into the house, red would be sitting one behind two stones.
Right.
It's behind the tee, but it's still shot.
Yeah, I mean, you could drive.
Oh,
you
now
could
he's going to
drive-
peel those guards.
Yeah.
Or
Yep.
a guard. Or we're
no.
talking about some options.
Well, maybe.
Oh, nope.
And then he put the broom in a position that's
I
not
think
going to
he's
do that.
I think he's going to try to tap back this rock in the back four.
Or freeze to it. He's okay with freezing to it probably too. Just kind of get in front of it. You won't mind a tap. So how is your cherry blossom going to this point?
So far, we have won our first two games, so I can't complain. I'm having a good time. Fun team.
Awesome.
Team O skips.
Cool.
You know, I will say I played on this sheet last night, and what happened just there was pretty common for us. When you're out at the 4-foot line, things were running
doesn't move quite
quite
as
straight.
It's a lot straighter, and that also was a little heavy. It looked like it ended up being more closer to a
Yeah.
hack than a back four weight.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's pretty easy to throw past the curl if you're not careful. We were struggling with that as well.
Yeah, and the rocks are curling a decent amount now, so if you take the weight down, you will get some finish, but the ice is running pretty straight on hits on most lines,
Yes,
was our
very,
experience.
very definitely. I agree with that. So, yeah, the rocks were actually sandpapered. Is this a ticket?
Oh, this is a nice plan B.
Except
that
that
oh,
it's
God,
too
it's
heavy.
still really heavy.
So, I mean, if that hadn't ticked off that, it would have gone clean through and not done much of nothing. But
That was a bit heavy for the draw.
now, it is first end.
Yep.
You know,
We struggled quite a bit with the weight in our first few ends.
absolutely.
All being from this club and playing in the more competitive leagues, we're used to the rocks being dragged before a game. So
Sure.
we're not used to having to bring our own ice up to speed.
Yeah, although, yeah.
I think our second end we had like 100 guards in play. So
Yeah, I was playing some very heavy guard heavy games as well. Somehow we managed to get through it with a win and a tie, which still haven't quite gotten used to the concept of tying in Bonspiel, but that's okay.
So Dad Burchesky looks like he is trying this shot again, just a down waiter, maybe.
Significantly less weight than he threw the first time, that's for sure.
Well, he didn't throw
Oh,
it
it wasn't
the
him, was
first
it?
time.
No, you're right.
So
It was somebody else's team.
he's going to show him how it's done.
Yeah, that might
We're
be
both like-
heavy. That feels too fast to me.
It looks like it's more of a draw weight, though. So I think, oh gosh, it's curling.
If they're past the guard, it's going to be nice.
Yep, it's passed.
And they're past the guard. It's going to, yep, there's definitely some contact. So the only problem, and it's not really a problem, is
That's
that's
great weight.
exposed. Yeah, the weight was fine.
Yeah.
It is exposed.
Oh,
Um,
Chris is all in.
Yeah.
Who has? Does he have hammer here? No, he doesn't.
Yellow has
I
hammer.
would assume.
Parental Army has him.
Parental Army. Ooh.
They're yellow.
But he's got those stagger guards. If he can get one behind at the top
those
of the
guards
house,
are, those
this
guards
is
are
going
still
to
there.
be.
Yeah.
They'll be set up nicely to maybe steal.
This needs to start coming back on the draw weight. It's not coming
Looks
yet.
like it maybe is a bit
Not
heavy.
coming yet.
Oh.
Now they're on it. I'm not sure why.
Oh.
It started to come. That's why. Okay. They got the top one, and okay, so boom, there you go. Not quite a double, but
Yeah.
got rid of one. It's in play. The one that they tapped is not guarding it. There's enough space there to definitely pick the red out without
sure.
significant qualm. So, yeah, manageable. I do think it's a good form of the gentleman from RPI 1 who I would swear as a Patrick Mahomes look like to be wearing the Kansas City jacket.
I'm sure that's a thing I should know, but
If you're a
if
sports
it's
fan.
a sports ball
See,
situation.
the quarterback for Kansas City looks real lot like him.
Okay. Does he wear blue shoes?
I don't look at his feet all that much.
Okay.
So couldn't tell you.
That guy looks like he's a little bit bored with this game. He's standing there yawning.
Yeah.
That's what I'm going to look like tonight when I'm playing at 10 o'clock.
Which, since we're running a little behind, is probably likely to be closer to 10:30.
Yes.
Just to twist that screw just a little bit more. Sorry about that.
Oh, this one is curling
Wow,
off the
that is
planet. They're
majorly
trying
curling.
plan B, which is to
Alrighty,
run
tip
the
in.
guard back in.
That might work the hard way.
Nope.
Nope, not quite. Well, how much is it going to roll? Nope.
Red still shot.
Yep.
If Celi can get this draw buried, he'll be in pretty good shape.
Yeah, and actually he now has that that yellow as a backer
Yeah.
on the draw line. So
John Hale agrees with you and said when he saw him earlier, I thought he looked just like Mahomes.
yeah, it's completely Patrick Mahomes. Thank you for backing me up, John. I don't feel quite as unknown.
I just got a text that said, "Did you just say sports ball?"
Go sports.
That's as much as I pay attention to adult men running around and tackling each other.
Go sports.
No, thank
Move the
you.
thing to the other thing. Score points. So Chris he's still playing the draw. He's playing it on the other curl, which don't blame him one bit, because actually that yellow stone is more accessible on this curl. The only trick is, has anybody thrown anything over here yet?
No, it's gonna be slow.
Probably.
Actually, it may not be too bad. This is the first draw after the scrape, so it
Right.
may not be awful. But
Now it was a quick scrape. They did
it
not
was.
they did not run
Ooh,
rocks.
this looks light.
Well, everybody's been
They're
having
not
problems.
sweeping it.
Everybody's been having problems with stuff being too heavy, so maybe light's the answer.
Needs to curl.
It's coming now. It's coming.
They just left.
I think I like the line.
Looking pretty nice.
This is, yeah, I mean, boom. I mean, you could ask for better, but you wouldn't get it.
Looks like the speed's pretty good.
Yeah.
That was a lovely shot, Chris.
Yeah,
I hope his fiance is watching, because that was a beaut.
that was very nice. I don't know if his fiance is a curler or not.
I don't either.
I am sure at some point Chris will, at the very least, bring her around to the curling club and we will all meet them.
That's a big step.
I know,
Bringing
right?
a significant other into your
I
curling
didn't
sphere.
I didn't bring my wife until we were married for 20 years. So
To the curling club?
to play. I mean, she came to watch a couple times.
Oh, I
before
played against you and your wife in
that.
doubles.
In doubles, yeah.
She did not look like she enjoyed it.
She enjoyed it.
She just loves you, Alan. I think that's
No,
that's
she
that's
enjoyed
the
it.
answer.
She enjoyed it, but it was before her knee replacement surgeries, so she wasn't feeling at all stable on the ice.
Yeah.
She was actually hoping that the walking around on ice would help her gait and all that kind of stuff, but it didn't. And as it turned out, she had to get knee replacements. So it is what it is.
So Band of Johnsons just scored 3.
Oh, good.
Wow. Okay.
Good for them.
They're playing a very fast end.
They are.
Yeah.
That would be Band of Johnsons playing against Ace Trainers over on Sheet C.
With new skip Jamie.
That is true. Jamie is working his...
Apparently during my game last night when you guys were commentating,
He was asking a lot of skip
he
questions.
kept saying, I'm a new skip.
He did. He was like, I'm going to ask a new skip question here. And Enrique and I were like, okay, great. We'll give you an old skip answer. That was the right line for that shot, but it did not ticket enough. It did go second shot, however, so red only lies 1. You're Sorry, Patrick Mahomes was just
Blue
asking.
Shoes Patrick Mahomes,
Blue Shoes
also
Patrick
known
Mahomes.
as, is he Jeremy Katz? I didn't see who was throwing lead.
Pretty sure that's Jeremy, yes. Not 100% certain. Either Jeremy or Matt. So let's see here. Okay, let's put yourself in Chris's shoes. What do you do here?
You know, this is one of those, if you throw nothing, he has no way to get rid of your rock. He doesn't have a run back on either of those guards. So honestly, I'd say I'd just kind of draw one in on this side that kind of blocks the draw path and makes it difficult for them to score. Because I think his only shot to score right now is to come around this way.
Draw to the back of the butt.
Oh, gosh.
That's a little deep.
Ooh, no. Oh, wow. I think that is actually a pretty good shot.
That
Because
works
even if
well.
he comes
Yeah.
down and hits that, he can't get rid of both of them. My goodness.
Is he seriously thinking about trying to raise that yellow?
I have to say, Chris Celi came to play this game. That was two beautiful draws.
If that, yeah.
I would have been a bit worried to throw that and leave him a shot to maybe get rid of both of them.
I'm
but
not.
man, he just went for
I'm
it.
not completely sure that was what he had in mind, but he can't complain.
I have a score update. Temple of Broom on sheet D just scored 1 point.
Temple of Broom up 1-0 over the Sweepwalkers in a Pool 6 showdown over there on sheet D. The Sweepwalkers.
And over on sheet A, Gudetama on ice just scored a point.
All right, so they're up 1-0 over the Pittsburghers.
The Pittsburghers.
We have some great names at this spiel, and then there's the teams that just can't come up with names, like mine.
What's your team's name?
Team McNeil.
Oh,
I know.
for the bond spiel that I host, Alan, if you don't come up with the team name, I give you one.
You know, actually, that might be the best reason I've ever heard for me to get a team together for Glitter next year, because we need a team name. We're just lousy at it. We don't have a single creative.
It's going to be
goal
super
in all
gay,
of our bodies.
Alan. I'm not sure you want a team name that I give you.
What do you think you know about me, Courtney?
I don't need to know anything to give you a...
Oh, that, Chris Celi just got a bonus point out of that,
Did
I
he?
think.
Oh, goodness. It's close, but it does
tight.
look red from the overhead angle.
Yeah, I think. He certainly got 2. He certainly stole 2. So the question is, did he steal 3? They're looking at it awfully close. They might as well just stop looking at this point and get out the measuring stick.
They've agreed on 2.
Yep, and they're leaving those 2 there, so I think we're going to see a first end measure. Well, now this is weird. That this camera angle looks like yellow's closer. This camera angle looks like red's closer. They're not the same camera. Or they made a decision eventually. We're not sure what the decision was, but there was a decision. Red scored something. Okay, they're thoughtful and hung up a number. Red got 3.
Oh, they agreed to the 3.
They agreed to the 3. So
Okay.
RPI 1 steals 3 in the first end to go up 3-0 over the Parental Army. Not sure at this point, but I suspect the Parental Army is about to send them to bed without their supper and possibly make them take out the trash.
Nick Datlow says the names don't have to be meaningful. So I think that's Nick challenging you to show up at a gay bonspiel and just wait for whatever team name I come up with for you.
Alternatively, we choose to try to out-gay the person who would give us a gay-sounding team name, which is a horrible idea, so we're not going to do that. All right, Chris goes with the stereotypical center guard. Oh, by the way, that was not Patrick Mahomes throwing, so Jeremy Katz is the one who's the Patrick Mahomes impersonator.
Nick says something involving playing with sticks.
That was kind of where I was going to.
Oh, goodness.
That is my primary concern, is we would end up naming something like Bears with Sticks or something. It's just not a good sign. So Doug Burchesky asking his lead, Bob Howell, to put up a corner guard. That looks like a thing that could occur. It's maybe cutting a little steep. It's a little wide, but it's a corner guard. It's supposed to be a little wide.
It's a corner guard. It's supposed to be wide.
Yeah, maybe not that wide. It's not bad. It's workable.
You know, we can talk a little bit about corner guard positioning, Alan.
We could, but I suck at understanding the concept. So please, educate me. Educate me, Miss Shaw.
Well, there's certainly a few things that go into deciding where you put your corner guard, but the amount of curl is really important. So you don't want to have your corner guard, if you have ice that's really curly, you don't want to have your corner guard too close to the center and make it difficult for you to still draw into the forefoot to score 1. So I would say that might be a little further out than I would think you'd need to put it, with our ice not curling as much as it could.
But it's defendable. It's
a pretty good corner guard, I'd say.
All right. I'm not
You can
sure.
always use the doubles marks to see if you think it's reasonable or not.
All right. I'm not sure Chris wanted that to come into the house, but he got a bite of the top 12. Looks like Doug Burchesky's planning on going after it. And I think he's actually looking to get a roll behind that corner guard. So we'll see how well it was positioned.
To people who may not know the rules of curling, the 2 rocks that are outside of the house are what are referred to as free guards. So they cannot be removed from play at this point, not until the 5th rock is thrown. And after the 5th rock is thrown.
Right.
And but this rock, because it is inside the house, which is the rings, it can be removed.
Which it just was.
And it was the worst case scenario for where they put that rock, because now that rock is out of the house and cannot be removed for another rock.
That was, you're correct. That was the 5th.
That was the 4th rock.
Yep. And there's actually a new rule that's being toyed with this year at elite level play, not this level, higher level play, where because that stone's actually on the center line, it couldn't even be moved.
Yeah.
We're not using that rule, thank God, because the chaos that would ensue.
I think next year it'll probably be appropriate to use that rule because it's being used at
So it kind of
the nationals.
Yeah,
It's not just. It's one thing when it's just being used in the slams and
Sure.
kind of trying it out, but this is a rule that's now being used in national and world level play.
So yeah, the open question is if they're going to stick with it. It's still technically an experimental rule, and there have been grumblings.
Yeah.
From what I have heard on my top, my super top secret officials.
Your super top
secret
secret
officials.
handshake
Yeah, exactly.
of people who wear very thick coats.
Yes, and sit around getting very cold for hours at a time.
Yeah, it sounds
Yeah.
awful.
Yeah, it's fun. Gets you really good seats to watch curling. And never have to do anything.
The
It's
only thing
awesome.
is worse is timing. I get I'm like sweating because I've been on the clock and I really want to make sure I give everybody every second they deserve because it's stressful to be on the clock.
It is, and yet that's the job that we give the newest
Are they
officials.
splitting this rock on?
I think they're planning on using it as an in-off target,
I thought they were trying.
or is it just a line call for a straight draw and she overthrew it? You are correct. I'm sorry.
I think they were playing the split. That'd be my guess. Because that yellow rock that's right outside the rings is so close. You could tap that on one side and roll the shooter in.
Absolutely.
And set two.
I think that was probably the plan. It just didn't work.
But it didn't curl enough, so.
Or it curled too much. Oh, you're talking about.
No, I think
never
the
mind.
center
You're talking
line
about.
one,
You're talking
yep.
about split the center line. You're correct. Yep.
They're walking very fast with this one. It's definitely out there.
It's still got some movement. It might have enough to get all the way through, or it might stick around just behind the tee. Or well behind the tee, but it is sticking around.
No,
it's not. Never mind.
Oh, maybe.
Nope. Well,
oh, no,
okay.
it's a trip hazard.
It's in play, so it could turn into catching something later, but it is not scoring. I hate those.
I think he's just holding the broom in front of the rock so that he can see it.
I thought I saw a tee weight.
So maybe it's just the straight draw because he's taking the same ice. Yep. Sounds like Rachel thinks that's a
Rachel thinks it's better.
Good rock.
Okay. If it doesn't over curl.
Oh, maybe they are playing the split because.
Well, they're playing it now.
I think that was probably always the call. No, it's a nice shot.
And it's a split. Although
it does open up the draw on that
the draw
side,
line is
and
crazy open.
I think Chris Celi has shown in the first end of this game that he. Oh no, he is going to hit it. I was going to say I think he's shown in the first end of this game that he's not afraid to leave opponents' rocks in play, but he's going to go for the hit here.
I think
if he makes this hit, he could roll behind all those rocks along the center line.
Yeah, I think some of that may be an acknowledgement that he got 3 points in the first. So he doesn't need to put up a big number here or really even prevent the other side from scoring. So it's a little early to really
Looks
start
like they
thinking
kind of
that
got this one going a little bit.
But it's still going to take one. Well, it might take it.
Not quite. But does it outcount?
Yeah, so that's an interesting question.
Lost.
I feel like the red is deeper.
It's hard to tell from our angle.
I'm looking at the one up here. It looks like a slightly better angle on this. Feels to me
it's
like the Yellowstone.
Same angle, but
no, this is this way and this is this way.
It's literally just in reverse.
It doesn't feel like the same camera. I'll get over it. Doesn't matter. Regardless. Maybe it's just the angle. My neck is craned. I don't care.
Alan.
It looks like the yellow is first. I think the red is second, and then the other yellow is third. But there's a lot of stones left at the end, so it really doesn't matter yet. So there.
We're like Brian Mudrick and Kathy Gauthier bickering about what rock is closer to
exactly.
the
When one or more of them will get taken out before the end of the event.
I'm deep diving on my curling commentator references.
Yeah, really.
I did notice during the Briar that Kathy Gauthier started referring to Brian Mudrick as muddy, and I was not a fan.
I missed that. I didn't catch as much of the Briar.
But it was
as I
almost like
wanted to,
moody with her Canadian accent.
That could not have been what they had in mind.
Yeah, I'm going to go out on a limb and say that was not the called shot. So, you know, if I'm Chris Celi, I think I just hit this. It's pretty close, but I think you have a good chance to sit 2 if you can hit this and roll in.
Yeah, Chris's only question was, which curl do you want to come at it?
Yeah, probably better not to throw the way that they threw the first one, because that one over curled pretty big time on
Fair
them.
point. Or take advantage of that knowledge and use that curl and just account for it. But Scrubbers well, okay, and then they came off.
Yeah, I think they killed that one.
And no
Nice shot.
Slightest inward roll, but probably not enough to be in the house. No, there's no way that's in the, well, there's a way, but it's
Nice job, Kirsten.
Yeah, got the job done. Stone win, bye-bye.
The only bad news for them on this shot is that they have left the double that would allow them to sit 2.
Sure, but that is not
Oh,
what is
are
being
they
played.
drawing?
This is
Oh, no, they're drawing. Silly me. I don't know what to do with this
I
game.
agree with you that it was there. You are not wrong. It's just not what they decided to do.
I don't hate the draw here. You know, that double's going to be there. If you give him another chance to make this, he just threw it. He was a little light.
And this, on the other hand, looks pert darn good.
Oh, it's a bit heavy, I'd say.
Maybe a little heavy. The sweepers may have given it too much.
Scrubbers.
Is it going to? But actually, I mean, it is still.
Oh, it's shot.
Probably shot.
Oh
yeah,
my
it's
gosh.
shot. That's definitely shot. So now Chris, he's not calling the double. He's calling the hit and roll in.
The wick.
Yeah, the wick in. Which makes sense that he would.
The Ace Traders have just posted a score of 1, so it's 2-1.
Okay, 2-1. Band of Johnsons over Ace Trainers after 2.
Good job, Jamie. Get on the board.
Jamie got on the board. I mean, they won one of their games in the first two rounds, so they're having a decent spiel.
So I can't tell if the call is to play the wick or if he's just playing the straight draw. He was making some motions on that outside guard.
Maybe
and if he did wick
straight draw.
it,
Maybe it's a straight draw, and if they're a little wide, they'll play the wick.
Yeah. It's tough to make that. I think you can make it and sit too, but that yellow is only about halfway in the house, so.
You're not going to sit. Oh, okay.
Yeah, if he kind of wicks it
in.
on the in, splits it out, and rolls in, he could potentially sit two. But, man, he's had such killer draw weight. I'd say just sink one and
but he doesn't,
let them deal with it.
Yeah, he doesn't have the hammer, so I mean, he doesn't need a 2. A steal of 1 is perfectly acceptable. So unless this severely cuts, he's just going to hit it on the nose.
It's cutting.
It is. You're absolutely correct. Is it going to cut enough to get past? There's going to be a little wick. Spins in.
Nice
I mean,
shot,
that
buddy.
works. That's fine. He'll take that all day.
Chris Celi is really making some shots tonight.
Chris Celi is
today.
definitely doing
what
some
time
work.
is it?
It's
oh God,
3:30.
it's 4.
Yeah.
I have a long day ahead of me here.
It's 5 o'clock somewhere. Not here.
No. Definitely not.
So, yeah, that stone is, okay, it's not completely impenetrable. You could maybe get at it coming from our right to left on like a backline weight tap kind of thing. But
that was a really lovely draw, by the way.
that is a really good, yeah, I mean, the redirect was was perfect. He placed it perfect.
Yeah, it can be a little hard, even when there's a lot of curl. This sheet B on that outturn side coming towards the glass is always probably one of the straightest patches of ice in this club, and
yeah, which is weird that keeps doing all season.
Yeah,
I think with all of the different
as long
flooding
as I've
and
been
everything,
curling here,
yeah, it's nuts. You're not wrong.
It's a straight patch.
I don't know, something about the chiller tubes, or something about the physics of our ice.
Yeah, it's just assumed like it was maybe a space where the tube set a little different in the sand, but every year it seems to be there.
Yeah, and they move the tubes around a little bit every year, so
Uh-oh, this looks like it could be a little light.
yeah, which would be a huge problem.
Yeah. These guys are sweeping hard. I mean, they're
gonna,
really dragging it, but I just don't
yeah,
think
but
it has the legs.
even if it comes, it's also going to promote that one there. They actually want to stop because they don't want to tap that up far enough to be a second, and I think they did.
That may be second now.
I think they did. It looks to me like it's about 75% on the rings, and the one in the back's only about, well, I don't know. Regardless, Chris has got to be very confident that he's got one right now.
Yeah.
And he's in a position where he can prevent it from not being one.
Yeah, I don't think you can't even run that yellow because the only shot they have to score at this point is to play that draw through the port.
Well, okay, why not a draw, a heavy draw the other way and tap that yellow, tap the red rather that's on the forefoot? Because there's more cut from the right to the left, in my experience.
But it's almost dead. It is only slightly exposed from the rock that's in the top 12, Alan. I just don't think you could get enough curl to really do much with that. Maybe. I don't think you score that way.
Yeah,
you've got
probably right.
You've got to chip it all the way across the forefoot and hope your shooter stays in the 8.
Yeah, I think if it wasn't for the offset red guard at the top of that line there, maybe.
Yeah.
But with that red out over there, no, you're right. You're coming in too much. You're right.
Yeah, I don't know that offset red guard that's closer to the hog line. I don't even think that one's in play.
No. I'm talking about the one. It's not in play.
It wouldn't prevent you from making the shot.
No, but it moves. It does move you have to curl more, which means you have to have less weight, which means you're not going to tap it enough.
Yeah, I just think I think that rock is in a really tough place. So I like the call here just to plug up this hole.
Is he just plugging up the hole, or is he trying to come through it and put a third one or a second or third one in? I guess if he's heavy, he'll take that. You're right. This is definitely
looks like
plug
a guard weight.
This is definitely guard weight.
It is a guard weight.
Question is it going to over curl so as not to be a guard?
It's going to be pretty hard to make it through that hole.
Yeah, I would not enjoy that shot.
No. I would not want to be throwing that. Is it possible that his fiance is his teammate? She is wearing a shiny ring that looks fairly new.
It's theoretically possible. I do not know.
A curling romance.
I mean, I suppose we could.
Will that be your next book, Mindy?
I write murder books, so if anything, somebody's going to be
That's not a curling.
Embedded in the ice.
I would read a book that showed up in the true crime section, a curling romance. I would buy that book on Amazon.
Wait, true crime you write?
Or
I write mystery.
Mystery.
I need to read your book.
It's got a very heavy true crime bent to it, and they're always funny.
And they're funny?
Yeah.
Oh my God, I have to read this.
Meanwhile, back at the. So remember how we were talking about this shot's probably not possible? I guess we'll find out.
Yeah, I think what she's playing with this broom, Alan, is to try to.
She's just concerned about their red.
Well, so they're sitting two, so she's got to try to cut them down.
Shot. That makes sense.
She's got to take that wide draw. I don't think she can score with this draw, but
you're
just cut them down to
you're
two
right.
or
cut
one.
Down to one by just getting something on the inner side, the inner half of the 12 or better.
Oh, I'm getting a request for you to drop the book titles, Mindy.
Oh, so the novel that just came out in June is called Her Dying Day. You can buy it on Amazon or Barnes & Noble. It's in the Barnes & Noble on Rockland Pike.
So, not to interrupt, but the draw did not get there. Red, we think, scores 2.
Well, and on sheet D, yellow scored 2 in the last end. And I'm waiting to see what the score is on A, because they clearly scored, but I can't see because people stand in front of that scoreboard.
That doesn't matter. Even if they weren't standing in front of it, it wouldn't help because they didn't hang the number. The 2 is still sitting in the pocket, so we don't know.
Have you read the book The Snowman?
No, who's that by?
What's his name? Nesbo?
Yes. Yo Nesbo.
Yeah. Yep.
I have not, but I did meet him at the last writers' conference that I was at.
Oh,
He signed some
fantastic.
copies of books.
So that book was recommended to me by a friend, and this friend didn't actually remember that the book has a curling plot line in it.
Oh, really?
It's not a big plot line, but the curling club does come into the story.
Oh, that's hilarious. I will try and write a curling mystery, but everybody's just so darn nice. It's hard to know.
Well, see, that's
what
the problem.
murderous impulses. people are
Everybody's
gonna have.
acting nice, but somebody has a dark underbelly, and they're a secret agent or something, and somebody had to die. It's easy.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
We do have an NSA agent who works here.
We probably have.
You
a couple.
probably shouldn't be saying that on the.
I didn't see who it was.
Yeah. It's the Washington, D.C. area curling club. Pick an agency. We've got at least one member.
Yes.
Possibly not Department of Corrections.
No, we do. Isn't Rachel?
Okay. I don't know.
I thought we had somebody.
Rachel's a student now.
Oh, I see.
All right. So it was a 2. So
Yes.
it's now 5-0 on our feature sheet B. And they still haven't hung the score on sheet A, so eventually, hopefully, somebody will think to do that for us.
So I'm not sure what the call was, but it maybe sometimes I like to dispense a nickel's worth of free curling strategy. If you are losing by 5 points, putting a rock open in the house is generally not considered a wise strategy.
Seems like a poor.
I think Alan is buying your book as we speak.
I'm at least downloading the free sample. Unfortunately, you can't buy it on Kindle on Amazon anymore because
Wait, what
stupid
is-
policies. It's a good.
Oh, looking at film. I was
I
trying
love
to
the cover
figure out
shot.
the
It's a-
cover is
It's
fantastic.
a great cover shot.
Thank
I
you.
love
What do you
it.
mean you can't download it on Kindle?
So, Google Play, in their infinite wisdom, made it so you can't buy the book on Amazon in the Amazon app. You have to
go to
add
the
it to a list
store.
and then go. Yeah, it's annoying.
Well, as an author, I will agree with that. I find that annoying.
Wait, what? I missed it. What's the annoying
So
thing?
this is the Amazon app, right?
Okay.
So
Oh, you can't buy Kindle books?
You can't buy Kindle books from Amazon in the Amazon app because Google Play doesn't get their cut that way. So it's.
What's that hole in the
It just
rock
means
counter?
it's already been thrown.
Oh, that's an interesting. I haven't watched
That is from
since.
Ken Clark. He put that
Yeah,
in.
Ken,
to help
he
people.
changed up our graphics package for this.
Yeah.
My wife doesn't like it, for the record. She gave me a little bit of grief about it when I got home last night. But
Well, he's now.
I heard your wife was having a difficult time keeping up with the score of your game
so
yesterday.
she has a so on our I know why on our TV at home, the black numbers on the red background you can't read it. And it's
Yeah.
not just a problem with our YouTube stream. It's anytime there's dark on dark, our TV just does not. It just doesn't show it well. It's
So
like
I
we need to mess with
flicked
our
it-
brightness or something.
I flicked the stream to all house view because Sheet C's
Good God, man!
house is amazing.
Oh wow! There's like no guards on any of them.
Well, there's a guard. There's
Hit
a yellow
something for the love
1,
of
2, 3,
curling.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. There are 13 stones in
Wow.
play at
This
the moment.
is there is no.
Is this the hammer?
There's no defense. No, this is Jamie's last
So
rock.
it's 15th of 16. A stone is out of play. I'm not sure who. I'm not sure
Oh my
which, and I'm not going to
goodness.
spend the time to count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11.
Can we confirm? Do you have any children? No. There was a comment that you were on another team of parents, and I was like, I don't think he has any children.
All right.
To confirm to all the women who are on this stream who want to date Kyle Conroy and were worried that he might have children, he does not.
So,
Oh, Jimmy, this
Jamie
is a
Bellefontaine,
lovely
that was,
Oh,
at
they're
the
not
very least, it's a
shot,
cut to
but-
1. Well, except that's not hammer, is it?
Cody looks pissed. Cody was not making a happy face. Oh, Jamie's giving me eyebrows. I think he realizes that was a bit of an end saver. So I'm not going to lie, it's a great shot, but I do think that rock could be removed.
That's kind of looks like that's the line that they're thinking about.
Yeah.
It's not.
I don't know how many they'll get, though.
So if they kick that out.
They would end up kicking this guy.
Not necessarily.
It is
I
a
can't-
tough shot. You'd lose this guy because it can't go clean without touching that guy, and then the red. Sorry to the people at home. I'm pointing at the screen that I'm looking at.
Because she's trying to explain it to me, and she's
We don't have a telestrator.
I keep asking Ken to get us a telestrator, and he's like, no, I'm not doing that.
It's too much work, I think. And then we'd have to figure out how to use it. It would be a huge pain.
Sure.
So I think if you hit that one on the nose, the one
you
that
probably lose the. Yeah, you definitely lose the yellow in the
I don't
back.
actually know. It might just be easier to draw in. Cody's indicating draw in for the second point, and I think honestly that's probably what you do.
So
I think
the only risk there is if he happens to overcurl just a little bit, he could tap promote that red just enough to make red shot.
it looks like they're hitting it.
Yeah,
Honestly, I think
Yeah.
the shot is to come down with a heavy draw to light hit weight. Try to get just to the inside and nose on the yellow that's frozen in the back of the forefoot to the red. You'll lose the red, but you should touch the button to sit two.
But that's not the line they're calling.
I'm not going to lie. I think this shot is for 1, and I guess I will see. We'll see if I'm proven wrong or right, but I think even if he makes this perfectly,
I'm not 100% sure I understand what he's calling.
he could actually give up a steal potentially with this shot.
Very
Oh
easy.
no, he's actually playing the shot that I suggested.
Oh, just
he's
with off
playing,
a different broom. Okay.
Oh, it's curling a lot.
At the moment, I think he's on that high 12-footer. Uh-oh.
Oh no.
Houston, we have a problem. At least if you're a member of the Band of Johnson stream. On the other hand, if you're an Ace Trainers fan with, as we all know, new skip,
Jamie is indicating
Jamie Bellefontaine
that
steals a point. Well done, sir.
Jamie is indicating with his gestures that he realizes that they just let him off the hook big time.
Yeah, well, I mean,
but
he earned it.
He earned it. Jamie made a really nice shot to force them into a tough shot to get more than 1.
And while we were paying a ton of attention to that, they hung a 1 in the second end on sheet A to make that 1-1 after 2.
Oh, wait. And while we were not paying attention to our feature sheet,
They've thrown
yellow
a lot
is
of
sitting
stones.
1.
Yeah, they've thrown a lot of
First
stones.
and third.
So, yeah. Back to the game that we actually are showing on the screen.
Chris Celi is indicating that he would like to hit the red, I believe, into the yellow.
I believe that's what he's doing. Not with crazy weight. He doesn't need a ton. He needs, like hack maybe?
What number am I, Mindy?
You're 4.
Okay, I'm back. Just had to cough quickly. This is over curling by a mile. Oh, thanks, Alan. This is definitely.
So, but it's going to be kind of nose. Is it going to tap?
Oh, my
it?
God.
It did. That's
what I like to call some straight up bullshit. Oh, whoops, I'm not supposed to say
way
that.
too early for that, yeah.
But this is not pool. This is curling, and you do not have to make the shot you call.
No, not at all.
You just have to make
a shot.
And
that's what he did. Although it's not. I don't know if he actually got the yellow out so that it's not shot or not. It's tight. I think the red's shot, but I also think it's way too early in the end to really care. There's still 7 or 8 stones to go. So.
I think I got to throw a peel.
Oh.
She did not sound like she was completely on board with that, with the shot that Doug said, I'm throwing this.
Well, the other thing to mention about that outcome is that the rock that they hit into
guard is being peeled.
Oh. Yeah, he wanted to peel.
Yeah, like I said, it didn't sound.
I mean, at
to
the
me
end
like
of the day, their second shot in the back, I think that was a good call.
Sure. It didn't sound to me like Rachel. When Rachel said okay, it sounded more like a okay than an okay.
Yep. And now this is forcing them to play a bit of a hit through a hole. And if she overcurls, she could take out her own rock.
True. Very true. And, ooh, that's tight. That line is in. She laid that inside the line that was called for.
Uh-oh. And it is going to be all over.
It is definitely. It's got that solid as a rock. Although you could kiss off that other yellow and still be shot. That's also an option.
You know what? She's gotten pretty lucky with the outcomes of these shots.
Yeah.
Brings up my favorite curlingism, which is sometimes it's better to be lucky than good.
I would rather be lucky than. I mean, my entire career here, I've rather been lucky than good every single time. Every time I start to think.
I'd like to just be both, but you know,
so
if you're gonna get. Oh gosh, this is over
maybe
curling too.
I think it's gonna still get a piece, but only a thin piece.
Nope.
It's not. It gets their own.
Oh
okay.
gosh.
It is now shot, but.
She's gone from suck to blow. Please tell me somebody got that reference.
I got it.
Okay.
So having punched in the code 0000, the three
I'm getting texts that other people and seeing things in the chat. People really do think this guy looks like that Mahomes fellow.
Yeah, it seriously does.
Okay, I'm going to Google this. What's his name?
Patrick Mahomes, Kansas City Chiefs quarterback.
Patrick Mahomes.
Also, discount double check guy for State Farm, so maybe you've seen his commercials.
Oh, no. He does kind of look like him. It's the haircut, really.
Yeah, the haircut sells it.
It's the haircut that.
So got the hit, and hey, how about red line 3?
Wow. Celi is just on fire today.
He is not taking his foot off the accelerator, that's for sure.
Yeah, he really does kind of look like a.
Completely. Like in a large crowd, he could
like
probably
a curling
impersonate and not.
Patrick Mahomes.
I mean, it is NFL offseason. Maybe he's slumming.
He's slumming it at the
Potomac
Curling Club Cherry Blossom Bondsfield.
Why not?
2023.
Why not? He wants to get his athlete on without getting tackled.
I mean, he can't even imagine how much money that guy probably has, and he's just gonna like show up here in his blue shoes, curling with some random kids from RPI.
There is Jared Allen, who's had an NFL career and is then trying to be a.
Yeah, he's a retired football player.
But this is a premier Bondsfield. If you're gonna do it, you might as well come.
This is a premier Bondsfield. Okay, I'm gonna do it. I need to do a shout out right now.
Sushi.
We don't have any Bonspiel sponsors, per se.
Why not? We should have some.
But I am drinking a beer that is from our, oh goodness, this is curling.
That started at curling more. Did it? Okay, it got enough.
Got it.
No, it did. Yes, it did. Okay.
So I'm drinking a beer that was brewed by my doubles curling partner, Jeff Greck, who is also playing in this event, works for a little place called Brookville Beer Farm.
I have heard of that.
This beer is called Tall, Dark, and Handsome.
Okay.
It is a Schwarz beer that I think actually, I have to say, I really enjoy when it's on draft. It's not as good in the can, but it's a nice darker beer that I enjoy very much, and it's curled by my curling partner and friend, Jeff.
I, on the other hand, am drinking a Sprite.
I had the filter
because I'm
earlier.
dull and boring.
Yeah.
Well, actually, not
Just
much
for the record,
earlier, but
Sprite and Hall's cough drops, not a good combo.
Oh, goodness, Alan.
it's quite a cocktail.
No, it isn't.
Oh, goodness. Oh!
Okay. That
For a
was very
second-
nearly disastrous.
For a second, I thought Celi's luck had run out, but man, I
No.
think that
Now,
rock
you
went
know he
through
would've-
the guard.
You know he would have papered the guard and spun to the button.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
he's got newly engaged luck working for him.
Oh, Poor Rachel. Now, in an end that was looking like it might be set up pretty well for them, she is drawing for 1 against 2 rocks, which
yeah, with the hammer. So yeah,
is
that's
kind
all
of a
she's
bummer
got.
when you're down by 5.
And there's not even a double. Well, she could have maybe taken a chance at a double to his blanket, but
These guys are going hard.
does
Oh,
this
come
have
on,
the
guys.
legs? Does this have
Dig,
the legs?
dig, dig.
The skip is coming out to help. That never
This
works.
looks bad. Oh, no, I think they got it. I think they got it.
I'm not.
They've got it.
completely
They've
convinced
got it,
yet.
Alan.
Yeah, they do. You're right. Yep,
Woo.
that's good. Touch red.
Get those guys a shot.
All right. So that makes our score 5-1 after 3.
Okay. I think I might need to.
Journey off into the sunset.
What time? Oh, no, I'll go at halftime. We got one more end to halftime.
All right.
I've got a bit of beer left, but I got to go let my dog out.
Who
And
let the dog out? Courtney. Courtney.
oh, Alan. Goodness.
Sorry, I'm old. I have to.
I
do
mean,
stuff like
I'm old.
that. You're not my old.
How old are you?
53.
Okay, you're old.
Thanks.
You're older than I
I
am.
could play seniors, except I can't because I curl with a stick and they never just do that.
Yeah, that's something that I'll put a plug in for my DEI task force. We are lobbying for expansion of the stick curling
So
as an accessibility measure.
So thing that Dean Gemmel, currently interim USCA CEO and in the running to be the permanent one, told me while I was at a tournament earlier this year is he is trying very hard to get a stick curling national championship initiated.
Yeah.
I think it's because he doesn't want to let us into clubs.
Exactly.
But
I think it's sort of the. I can't think of a nice term. The term that I'm thinking is not something I should say on the stream. But
It's okay. I know exactly what you're saying, and you're right.
Yes, it is. It's not okay. There are some people who take club national championships very seriously, and they somehow think that allowing stick curlers will hurt the integrity of that event.
Right.
And I'm not sure I agree.
My logic is just, okay, Club Nationals is a celebration of club curling. Club curling has stick curlers. What more needs to be said?
I think there's this misconception that stick curling is somehow easier than regular curling.
It looks easier. I mean, I admit
It looks
freely, it looks
easier,
like
but
it's
as somebody
easy as
who
hell.
has done it in a fun event, wow, what a nice tick.
That
And
is the perfect tick.
My understanding from the call is that was on purpose. Yes, no, Father Burchesky, we are not playing the no-tick rule.
He asked, didn't he?
He did. I was asked before our game. That is not a measure that we are adopting.
Yeah.
I mean, I think people see it, and particularly with hits,
It
it's
looks
certainly
easy, sure.
easier to generate weight. And I can say from years of playing against Alan McNeil, Alan took a long time to develop his touch game with a stick.
Yeah,
And,
it's still other teams have still learned that you don't, if you want to beat my team, you make us throw accurately as opposed to fast.
I mean, never leave a stick curler a rocket weight double. I mean, oh no, I just am watching Jamie flash a hit against 2.
But they still have one more stone this end. Is that true? Yes.
Yeah, that was his first rock.
So, but yeah. But yeah, you're right. A stick curl, we got a mechanical advantage. We can generate weight it's easier to generate weight, but we also have a lever arm. Your physicist out there would know that makes it harder to control your angle right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I've been asked, Alan, about the no-tick rule, so
Okay.
let's explain.
Sure.
So the no-tick rule is, we talked about the free guard zone, and it is when you have a rock that is between the hog line, which is the thick blue line, and the house, which is the bullseye. If it's touching that, what we refer to as the center line, There's a guard in play for references here. There's a guard right in front of the house. It is not touching the center line. If that guard were touching the center line for the first, is it 5 as well?
It's the same
as the free guard zone rule. You cannot tick that guard off of the center line. And if you do, your rock is removed from play and the guard is put back to its initial spot.
Unless the other team prefers the result. Unlike the free guard zone, yeah, they changed
It's
that.
optional?
Yes, it is optional.
Okay. I thought free guard zone was optional too.
Free guard
It's
zone.
not?
Free guard zone is not optional.
Okay. Free
But
guard zone not optional. Tick is
zone
optional.
currently optional. That's one of the things that they're because players aren't liking the whole. Wait a minute, why would it be? Why is it optional if I have to take this one, but this one I have to take? And it's a legit criticism of the rule.
Wow, we just missed a really lovely shot on sheet C.
So let's see.
The band of Johnsons just made a hit through a port to sit 4.
And all right,
leaving the ace trainers in kind of a rough spot, and Jamie's throwing a hit, a normal weight hit. I wonder if he's going to try to play the double on the back 2 rocks and roll under the corner.
I mean, wouldn't the smarter call be to throw something at like back 4, back 8 weight, get that Yellowstone, but in a perfect world, maybe even get across the nose and just kind of sit on the button, take your 1, call it good. Feels like that's a shot that would be more likely to not give up 4. Whereas if he's going for a hit and he misses it, he could give up 4. And even if he just chips out 1 of them and loses the shooter, he gives up 3.
I've been asked who's managing the cameras. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Noted Amazon author, Mindy Carlson. Her book, Her Dying Day, is available now on Amazon.com.
Alan just tried to buy it and couldn't.
Please, somebody buy it and send it to me. I'll Venmo you the $13.95.
That's a good deal. Are you recording an audiobook, Mindy?
There
so
is
here
an audio
comes the
copy.
hit, and
beautiful.
Wait,
oh my God! Called and made.
But
Jamie
a little too much
Bellefontaine.
roll.
No, it's perfect.
Well, no, yellow's line. Yellow's
I
got
mean,
the 1.
so it's better to leave him a draw for 2 than a hit for 4.
Absolutely. Not actually, not saying that he just did not quite get shot out of it, but you know what? He's fine. He's happy. He'll take it in a heartbeat.
So I do have an audiobook version of this. It's narrated by Hillary Huber, who did The Atonement by Margaret Atwood.
Wow.
Sounds like a notable audiobook performer then.
She is. She's very notable.
I'm a big fan of audiobooks because I spend a lot of time walking and doing art and other things, and it's a way I spend my days reading. So it's nice to be able to take in some literature and not have to use my eyes.
Oh, so I totally
Is your
agree.
audiobook available on Audible?
It is.
Okay.
I have 10 Audible credits I need
Well,
to
then
use
you
up.
really should use one.
I am
on
going to.
Her
I
Dying
am
Day
going
by
to
Mindy
use
Carlson.
one on Her Dying Day. A hilarious.
Wow, and the
somehow. Oh gosh, and
somehow
a
that
draw.
got, like 30 feet short.
I'm not gonna lie, Jamie seems to be really digging this team out of some trouble end to end here.
In this not exactly Potomac,
And
not exactly deathmatch.
And I'm not exactly following the game that we're supposed to be commentating on, but it seems like, once again, Chris Celi's in pretty good position here.
This is not a recording. Chris Celi lying 1 on the back of the button behind some cover. I think we've seen this. This movie
He's
before.
drawing another one in there. Jamie didn't.
The other team scored
Johnson's. Johnson's got one.
So it's now, I think it's 3-1, 4-2. Pretty sure 3-1.
Sometimes I joke that when I flash a hit or do something that's not great, that I'm just leaving myself to look like the hero when I make a harder shot the second one. I think that's exactly. Jamie flashed his first hit, and he was like, you know what? I'm just going to
make up for it.
I got to make up for it with this really amazing second shot.
All right, so we expect some sponsorship money here because apparently Ann Kennedy just bought copies for her library system.
That's
of
fantastic.
Her Dying Day
Of
by
Her
Mindy Carlson.
Dying Day by Mindy Carlson.
Available apparently also in paperback. Or hardcover or something.
Hardcover, audio, Kindle. It'll be in paperback soon.
But is it available on stone?
I just heard my teammate Brian Dauernheim yelling
Not yet.
at somebody to leave the club. That's not hospitable, particularly because of that we just beat them. Oh, this is a nice tap
Nice
back.
little tap back. So
I think the parents really kind of needed that. To put a little wind back in their sails,
parents
you know?
are-
It's
yeah.
a nice shot. Chris is going to try to take this rock out.
sure.
But it's mostly buried, so let's just say this isn't the easiest shot. This looks like a down weight.
It's going to be a down weight tap kind of thing. Question is the cut going to
Oh,
be
it's
right?
going to curl, I think.
It's
really not
It's starting
curling.
to move, but not enough yet. They're going to try to induce.
Induce. Oh.
All that did was made it better.
That's a bummer.
That's a problem.
But she may or may not have gotten engaged yesterday, so at least she's had some good news. I'm just kidding. I don't know.
We don't know.
I wish maybe somebody on the stream
She
could help
also
me with this.
she also may have just not to Chris. You know, she could have engaged just somebody else yesterday. We don't
Maybe.
know. We don't know. So I do know that when Chris's engagement was announced yesterday, the joke afterwards was, "And he's here curling now, not and they're here curling now."
Oh.
So that kind of tells me it's probably
Not
both,
her? Okay.
but
That's fair.
it's not.
They also kind of don't.
They don't have the
Yeah.
stereotypical "we're just engaged" pose.
What? The fiance is in the building and not curling.
Where is the fiance?
Wait, stick your hand up, fiance.
Hello, fiance. Okay, now we know.
Congratulations.
Now we know. Now we feel silly.
Oh my gosh.
Congratulations.
We don't feel silly. We didn't know. We don't know her. I wasn't like selling it like it was for real. Never. I'm hearing
the role,
from the warm
as
room,
always.
Never
listen
listen to Courtney.
So how's that strategy clinic going?
Yeah. I'm not going to lie. Sometimes the people who I play with and are skipping, I'm like, oh, God, they have not taken my strategy clinic. Don't tell Dave I said that.
Now that is the strangest way I have ever seen of calling a line.
What do you mean?
So Chris was holding Kirsten's broom, put it on the line, and then tipped it over and put it in her hand.
That is a way to do that. I was going to say, did they trade brooms?
No, it was her broom the whole time. Oh, it's because Chris's broom was down there. Why was Chris's broom down there?
That's a good question.
That's
This is a tough shot
have
he's got to
so
make
many
here.
questions.
So he's trying to run this yellow back into those two yellows.
Yes, that is exactly what he's
Not gonna lie, I think it looks easier to come down with like a tapping weight on the other turn.
This way, yeah.
You probably won't be shot, but
you at
you
least should get the
definitely
back
be
of
able to
those
get
two
rid
out.
of one of them.
Yeah.
But you know, he's proven me wrong in the past.
And I mean, there's a degree
Whoa,
of hey, I'm
no,
up by
don't
4.
sweep that.
That's kind of wideish. And by kind of
This
wideish,
isn't
I mean
looking
extremely
good.
wide.
Oh no. Uh-oh. Commentator's jinx.
Yep. I feel like it would have been. I think your idea would have been better.
Yeah.
I'm also 95% sure that if I'd been out there in that game, Dan would have told me to do the other shot over here, and he would have been right. So yeah, that would have been the right answer. I might have insisted on doing the shot that Chris tried, but Dan would tell me to do it. I think Dan took your strategy.
Oh my goodness. This is too much.
Next stone is on its way from Rachel Howell, Parental Army Vice. They're currently down 5-1 here in the fourth. And just for the record, the game's going a little slow, so it might not end up being an 8-end game. You only have 54 minutes left to play. This is going to chip a guard and open that. Ooh, ouch. Correct me if I'm wrong, Courtney. High hard one down the middle.
High hard one down the middle. Oh.
Sorry, it's a sports ball reference, but yeah, I mean,
No.
come down.
No, sorry, I got distracted for a second there.
But I mean, there's no reason not to just.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, you don't even
You
really have to blast. Just
No, you don't even have to stick around. Anywhere just on the high side should get rid of. The high side, for people who don't know, I shouldn't say that. So the high side is the broom side. So the rock that he's throwing will curl towards the center line, away from the broom. So hitting it on the high side would be just on the broom side of the center of the rock. But the way those rocks are frozen, they should both go easily.
Yeah, as
if
long
you
as
get
make any
anywhere
sort of
close to
contact.
nose
Yeah,
on
any
that
sort of
rock.
anything other than a
This
glancing.
looks good. Oh, it's floating a bit. I think it'll.
Floating's
curl,
okay.
little
Over
curl,
curling
little
is the
curl,
problem. Oh yeah,
yeah.
it's got plenty
Oh,
of it.
this is
It's
good.
fine.
This looks great.
That's got a nose. It's beautiful. Boom, boom.
Nice shot.
Boom, boom, stick. Red life.
And you can see, as I said, both those rocks went easily.
Yep.
And this is halftime, Alan McNeil.
Real close.
No, this is halftime.
Oh, that was the hammer?
That is officially halftime.
Okay. So
Which means
8-1.
that I'm going to sign off
Bye-bye.
and go feed my dog and let him out and
Feed the dog, let the dog out, give
think
the dog an
about
extra scritch for
think
us.
about my life for a few hours before I have to come back here
and buy a copy,
curl after
and buy a copy
bedtime
of
for
Her
most-
Dying
most
Day
people.
from Mindy Carlson.
Oh, you know what? Since we're doing this on the stream, I am going into my Audible account as we speak. Her Dying.
Now, do we have? We'd probably get in copyright trouble if we actually streamed the Audible, right?
The
Yeah,
first, The first line
Oh,
is
I'm
a little
buying
spicy, so
Oh, okay.
I would
Okay,
buyer
so
beware on
that's
that.
a horrible idea. Okay, let's not
That's-
do that. Then.
I have success officially.
I will. I
But
will.
Her
I will
Dying Day
confirm
on
that
Audible?
Courtney
Thank
has.
you, Courtney.
Courtney has purchased the book.
Yeah.
I can buy my child a new pair of curling shoes now.
Wow, you must get a hell of a royalty.
Your
Those
child.
are
I
expensive.
think I owe her that for as much as I traumatize her child when he's playing in
Capital League.
Capital League.
Nah, he needs it. Oh,
I say things and then I'm like,
Wow.
God, he doesn't look like a child, but he's a child.
He's 17.
So
He's been
around.
yellow laid down a 4 over on D. That would be the Sweepwalkers. Ooh.
Okay, I'm heading out,
Making it a
Alan.
62. Thanks a lot.
Thanks.
Thank you for your first half.
Thanks, Courtney.
Bye.
Have a good game at 10 o'clock tonight.
Over on sheet A, they scored, the Pittsburghers scored 3.
So
Bring
that
it
makes
there.
that 4-2.
4-2.
And did we get a 4th and score on C yet? I can't see the scoreboard because I have a maze of humanity in front of me. Okay. So yellow scored 1, making it a 4-2 over on C. And our 4th end score on B was a 3 red, so that is 8-1. Yes, 8-1 RPI 1 over the Parental Army. I apologize in advance. The stream's going to be a lot less entertaining now because you just have to deal with my dulcet tones. Sorry about that.
I'll chime in every so often, but I don't really know what I'm doing. I've been around curling for 15 years, but I've only curled for a year myself.
Yeah. All right, so where are we at? We got a guard on the center line for red, RPI 1, and Parental Army's got a corner guard. There's also 1 red in the house in the 4-foot. And looks like what the call for Parental Army is a gentle draw to kind of tap that stone back or in or out or whatever. Sweeping on it pretty hard. I don't think it's going to have the legs. No, it's going to be short in the top 8. Kind of exposed. Patrick Mahomes lookalike Jeremy Katz throwing his first stone of the end. He's being asked to get rid of that stone that was just thrown. Basically, Chris Celi playing the scoreboard at this point, going, I'm way ahead. We're kind of getting in the dying end of the game. Just get rid of yellow stuff. Get rid of enough yellow things, eventually you win.
Is that how it works?
Yep. Oh. Virtually almost every curling game is won by the team that scores more points.
I've heard that's like other sports ball
I know,
activities.
Right? Except like golf.
Except
Golf, the only game where the better you are, the less you get to play.
seems about right for golf.
I know, right?
Did Mark Twain call it the interruption of a good walk?
Good walk spoiled.
Well,
Yeah.
that's what it is.
Stone on its way from the Parental Army. And just a reminder for those of you who may not have been around at the beginning of this, these are Pool 6 and 7 third-round games. The way this tournament works, it's a modified Swiss pool system sort of thing. Fundamentally, it's a race to get to 2 wins. Teams that get at least 2 wins are guaranteed to make it into a playoff of an event. In this case, it would be, for these guys, it would be either the B or C. So the team that wins here will have gotten to that second win and be guaranteed a quarterfinal slot in something, either the B or C quarterfinals. The loser is still alive because they'll be 1 and 2. They could conceivably win. They have one more game, a fourth round game. I believe these guys play late tonight, possibly early tomorrow morning. But the loser is going to be at risk of being eliminated if they also lose that fourth round game. So that's what these teams are playing for, is kind of a leg up in making sure they get to an event playoff.
So, Alan, how do ties work in this situation?
So this Bonspiel is kind of unique in that ties can happen. During this pool play stage, if a game is tied after 8 ends, it's tied. So, for example, right now, the Pittsburghers, one of the teams throwing red over on sheet A, they have won a game. They have not lost any games. They have tied a game. They are 1-0-1. That puts them ahead of all of the teams that are 1-1 and 1 win and 1 loss. So, when records are determined at the end of the 4th game, they have 1.5 wins or 2.5 wins, as the case may be. So that's kind of how that works. And then ties, if there's still a tie at that point, so like let's say there's 2 teams that are 2 and 2. Back yesterday, after their first game, all of the teams threw a button draw.
Oh, yes.
All 4 members threw 1 shot. They added up the results of the best 2, and whichever team has the better of those will be seated higher,
right?
Basically. But because of the way the structure of the tournament works, if you win 2 games out of your first 4, you're guaranteed an event playoff.
Oh, okay.
Teams that end up with 1 win, 2 losses, and 1 tie, it gets questionable. They're probably okay, but they can be not okay if they had a lousy shot draw.
Yeah, there's a few here that have some triple digits in front of me for their shot draws.
Yeah, it happened. It happens. I mean, since it's centimeters,
right?
That's very doable. You don't have to be all that good to end up with all that bad rather to end up with a triple digit. It's also the sum of the 2. So.
There's also a team in front of me that I see at 8.
Yeah.
That
is
was
that
really good?
Which is that by any chance team What is their name? Sponsor benefit?
No, it was Tata and Cheerio.
Oh, wow. They put up a good time.
They did a really great job.
All right, so far at this point, at this end, there's not a lot going on in the house. There's some guards up front that are just kind of being moved around. Yellow's fighting to get some stuff behind the guards. Chris is fighting to get his team to get rid of him. We are now starting to move into, well, not quite into the skip stones yet. Doug Burchesky throwing his final vice stone. He is skipping, but he's throwing third. So he's trying to get the draw in behind that guard. It looks like it might be a little wide. He's not going to get behind. And also, it might be a little heavy, so it might go through the house. Or it might stick in the back. Chris is working it. Nope, it sticks in the back 12. Okay. Chris getting his house in order to attempt to take that Yellowstone that was just delivered out. He probably wants to hit it and roll. He'll be in the back 12 behind the cover. Not really so concerned about trying to end up scoring this end as to prevent the other team from getting a big number. Because with the 8-1 lead, you can give up a 2 and not feel bad about it.
Oh, for sure.
You just don't want to give up 3s because that's a big bite in one end. This looks kind of wide. I don't know if it's going to come back enough to get it. It did.
Oh,
Never
yeah.
mind. He rolled out rather than rolling under, but as long as he got the hit, he's content.
Scripted and sheet C. Band of Johnson scored 2 more in the 5th, bringing them up to 6-2.
6-2. Okay. We're working our way down through the sixth end now. Over there. And just for folks who may have tuned in now expecting that we would be in like the late 7th or 8th end to catch the finals, these games got started about 20 minutes late because the previous games ran long. So we're about.
And then we did a quick scrape between.
Right. Well, that was always in the schedule,
Yeah.
but so.
Well, they tried to do an extra quick.
They did it. They got that done in about 25 minutes, which is even for a quick scrape, that's quick.
They were jogging.
Yeah. Because they're trying very hard to get. I mean, they're gonna. They're trying to get 7 draws in today, which is a lot.
How many teams do we have total?
There are 32 teams in the tournament, and every team is guaranteed 4 games, which is unusual. Usually, it's a 3-game guarantee.
I was going to say.
So that's why there's so many games trying to get in.
It's really nice to have a 4-game guarantee because it ensures that you really get your money's worth and you get to play a lot, but it does make for a very tight schedule, especially since
exactly.
we even started on Thursday and we're still really packing the games.
Yeah, we started early on Thursday. Sometimes previous years we had 32 teams in this, and we only really had 2 draws on the Thursday, kind of like an ordinary lead night, a 7:15 game, and then a 9:30ish game. But I mean, we had a full day yesterday, 5 draws.
I hope that some of the teams yesterday were able to get down to the tidal basin and around and see the cherry blossoms, because today it's raining, so.
Yes, and this is actually apparently supposed to be peak bloom weekend.
This is peak bloom weekend.
And I think the weather, if I understand correctly, the weather gets nicer over the next couple of days. I hope. Let's see.
I just hope the rain today didn't knock too many off,
Right.
so our visitors that come can actually really.
So actually, tomorrow is going to be lousy weather. Tomorrow is Tomorrow is rain in the morning and thunder in the afternoon.
Oh, no. I don't like
Sunday, however, is supposed to be nice, sunny, and 65.
Oh, beautiful.
So
okay.
the teams that aren't in those semifinals and finals on Sunday could check it out on their way before they head home.
That would be really great. I hope they're not too tired.
Yeah, that's a legit problem. Yeah. I know my backyard is turning into a swimming pool for my collie.
Oh, yeah?
Oh yeah.
What's your collie's name again?
Bella.
Bella. Oh, that's so lovely.
My wife actually bought her a doggy raincoat.
Oh.
It's got ducks on it.
Oh,
It's
that's
adorable.
cute. Nice little tap back.
Celi and RPI 1 still lying shot. That stone is, however, quite exposed. So the Parental Army could be in a position here to try hit and stick. I mean, that's what they're trying. This is the hammer, so they want to hit and stick for the 3. The stone is on its way. Sweepers are not hitting it yet. It's very wide. It's very wide. It is not gonna hit. Nope, misses by about 4 inches on the outside. Celi steals another one to go up, stay at 9-1 after 5 ends.
There's some strategy about when you shake, you know, when you concede the game to save your sweepers or that sort of thing. So, like, at what point do you start really considering shaking?
I mean, it's up to each individual team. You're not required to do so until it's mathematically impossible for you to catch up. So, you know, like if you're down 5 points and you've only got 4 stones remaining in the last end, you can't catch up. So at that point, you have to shake. You can shake at any time before that when it's untenable. This game is getting there. A lot of teams have a resistance to shaking after an odd end because the stones are down at the wrong end of the ice, and they're like, yeah, we might as well throw them back anyhow.
Well, that makes sense.
Sure.
Yeah. Might as well have the fun of throwing it down.
Right.
Even if it doesn't matter.
Yeah, and Frank, I mean, there's still 3 ends left. Yeah, you're down 8. That's kind of a pain. But get 3 with hammer, steal 3 is not impossible. Unlikely, yes. Possible, also yes. So teams will try it. I kind of expect, unless Parental Army gets at least 3 this end, they will probably shake. If they get 2, they might consider throwing the 7th end down 6. But that would be, especially for the middle of a long bonspiel, that would be an extreme number.
Right. Well, and they have 35 minutes left, and that's plenty of time to play a couple more ends.
So they have to have completed the 7th end by the time the clock hits 0. So they have to basically play 2 ends in 35 minutes. Theoretically, if you're on pace, you play 2 ends in 32 minutes, about 16 minutes an end. So yeah, they've got a little bit of wiggle, but not a ton of it. So if it turns out that this end takes a little bit of extra time, then that adds just a little bit more pressure to that. Well, we might as well concede because we only have 7 ends instead of 8. But none of the other games are out of hand yet. The game on C is a 4-point margin. The game on A is closer than 4. Is it like 4-3, 4-2 on A?
A is 4-2 right
4-2.
now, although I suspect that they're done with the 5th end, or they're almost done with the 5th end.
They're almost, they're finishing up the 5th end now.
They should be hanging something soon.
Right.
They're playing very slowly.
They are. They're playing in such a way that they're likely to only get 7 ends. And again, as we said earlier, these games can end up tied.
Oh, yeah, for sure. the overhead mics.
Tick, tick, pop. I mean, Jamie got all of that. He did it the hard way, but he's got his stone on the button.
Yeah, he sure does.
Parental Army draws to just behind the tee, over behind the cover over here on the left-hand side.
Yeah, it's nicely buried.
Yep. So Chris is basically saying, all right, let's blow up the center guards. That's perfectly fine. He's just looking to prevent a big end.
Right.
We're saying in his mind, he's saying even if they get 1 or 2, the game's basically over at this point. So he just wants to avoid a huge number. So promoting a guard, he's actually promoting, not peeling a guard. So that little tap up, and it also leaves a shooter up there, so kind of shuts off that half of the ice as a path for a future draw. Rachel appears to be asking Steve to come behind that center pack. The stone feels very light. Okay, the sweepers held it pretty well, actually. It's gliding nicely.
Doing well, yeah.
Yeah, it's actually, it looked a lot slower a minute ago than it does now.
Now I'm afraid it's too heavy.
Yeah, and Chris is getting right on it, dragging it. He'll drag it to the back of the 12. It is pretty much buried, but it's very far back, so it's not likely to be a great score.
Could be some important backing for later.
Potentially. Chris asking Jeremy Katz to draw through the gap between his red guards up front there.
Are they measuring on A? They are measuring on A.
And it appears that they are.
Let me pop into the overhead house on A.
All right, meanwhile, I'm going to describe the draw coming in here on B.
Oh, well, that's
He's trying to get it past. He got it past the guards just barely, and he's got shot out of it. A very tight line. All right, so did you get the overhead on A?
I did. They kicked it away before I could see which one was closer, and they rudely did not put the stone on the button of which one was closer. So.
That's unfortunate.
They have stuff to do.
They tell us when we're doing it for television to do that, because the cameras love that shot.
Oh yeah, for sure. It's like 1 for yellow in the 5th.
Okay.
On sheet A.
Making
so
that a 4-3 game after 5 ends. All right, so Parental Army was attempting to follow that draw from Celi, or Celi's team. She did get it with a hit even.
Oh, lovely.
But
lovely.
the rolled
Little far.
not far enough to really be a concern, and Chris is like, okay, time to blow up some guards. The guards were lovely, but they are vexing me. I am sorely vexed. And he is going to get rid of at least one, possibly both of those guards. Probably due to the overlap of them. He probably doesn't catch any of the yellows on the way out. He doesn't care. He is a little concerned right now because right now yellow's scoring 3, and that's the kind of number he didn't want to give up, and he did not actually successfully peel a guard. I mean, he moved it over, so the yellow in the 4-foot is quite exposed now. But unfortunately, the other draw line is now closed. The way it is shut.
So if you're yellow, you throw up a guard, right? Or you try and draw in behind the cluster that's there?
So you throw up I call it a scoring guard.
A scoring score.
Basically, you want its real purpose in life is to guard.
Right.
But its other purpose is to be the fourth stone. So
like
you
in the
really want it.
neighborhood?
You really want it kind of like right next to that red stone that's just to the right of the center line, and just an inch better than it.
Well, let's see if they're managed to do. It looks like they're doing exactly that.
Yeah, it's gonna overcut. I think it's gonna kiss that red.
They're definitely trying to hold the line. You can hear them yelling.
Yeah, but I think it's not gonna be past it. It's gonna lightly
Oh, it's
tap
gonna
that red.
bump it up.
So that's not actually that's not horrible, because the way these stones line up, with a later shot, they could drive the yellow into that red. The red should go safely out the back, and now the yellow would be sitting there as a fourth shot anyway. So that's probably okay. Other than the fact that what it does give Chris is he can try to do that first, only instead of bashing it hard enough to take the red out, he wants to now promote the yellow into the red and promote his red into the forefront.
That looked like kind of what he was calling.
That's
Just a
exactly
nice
what he's
little
calling.
Tap back.
That's why I'm saying it, because I saw him call it. He
I
made
thought
it.
you were psychic.
No, I'm capable of reading. I'm capable of reading what people do with brooms. I'm psycho, not psychic.
That's why I like you.
So the stone from RPI 1 Vice Kirsten Katz is on its way. As I said, the call was basically a tap-tap raise, and the weight feels about right for that. They got the first tap, they got the second tap, and the raise went to the back of the forefoot. Pretty much exactly what I was talking about. So it only cuts down to 1, but that's fine. Cut down to 1 is great.
I mean, yeah.
When you're up by 8, eliminating 3.
Oh yeah,
That's
no,
easy
that
math.
was an important shot.
yeah. That's easy math. 1 is better than 4. It also has the advantage of where it is inaccessible. That wall of guards up in front, it makes it so that red is safe. So now Parental Army is kind of trying to draw around, deep enough to get a second. It's going to be close. It's real close.
Oh, it's really close.
I think it's good enough. I think if they're laying 2, but even 2 doesn't really help. I mean, it helps, but it doesn't solve their problems.
I mean, the cameras aren't directly over the pin, so and they're a little fisheye, so sometimes it's hard to tell what's closer. But yeah, it does look like yellow from my I think monitor. So
Chris is considering another tap raise, or he could be considering blasting a set of the red into the yellow, into the yellow, into the yellow. He has no real. I don't feel like he really has a reason to do that. That's not a great plan. So he's probably going to play the tap, and that's okay. So this is what I'm talking about when I was talking about earlier when Courtney was still here about how they're doing the broom. He pointing the broom out with Kristen's broom and then handing the broom over to her. That is very. She's the first person I've ever seen do it that way.
Yeah, I've never seen anybody do it that way. Before he throws over on sheet C, Ace Trainer scored 1 point in that 6th end, and so it's 6-3.
Wow.
So
Jamie Bellefontaine's team putting up a fight.
Yeah. If they have a very good end, they could do it.
Yep. So Chris's first stone is on the way. Fundamentally, it just looks like he's just kind of guarding up to try to prevent Parental Army from throwing another in on that draw line. Except to tap that, not enough to be a problem. So right now, Parental Army is having a leadership conference, trying to figure out they gotta figure out how to get a goodly number out of this.
I mean, so what would you do to pop that red out of there? Because really, it's that red that's
that red is currently the problem.
One
okay.
or two.
So the shot that he's considering, now is raising that red that's just barely touching the top 12 into the yellow on the top 8, looking to run it back onto that red in the back 4. The problem with that is in order to get the angle that he needs that red to go to make the yellow go where he wants it to go, he has to get hit to the left, from our point of view, of the center of that stone, and that red stone that's just to the left of that, it makes that a really narrow zone. I feel like it is much more likely that he is going to contact that top red of those two, which will cause his shooter to skitter over. He may still make the contact with the red, but it'll probably end up at the wrong angle and enough force will be bled out of it that there's not going to be enough energy in the system to make the shot. So, but what it would do if this did happen like that is it could conceivably clear up the path for him to do that with the next stone. So he could be making a 2-stone play here.
As much as I like Chris Celi, I kind of want to see that happen. That would be a really fascinating
That would be a
shot.
really good shot if he pulls it off. I mean, it's a very narrow shot. I'm sorry, she pulls it off, not me. They're sweeping it hard, which actually means that they're concerned about an overcurl. And it's because it hit that, and so yeah, so that, and ooh, it actually tapped one of theirs out. Okay, so that is problematic because it actually left an open path for Chris to take out at least one of those yellow stones in the 4-foot. If he does it perfectly, they both go potentially.
Oh my gosh.
So he wants to hit it. He wants to hit it just to the left, again from our vantage point, of the center, so that the stone that he hits is going to hit the stone that's on the tee line. The stone that's on the tee line is going to go off to our left between the red and the yellow. The shooter's going to roll off to our right over here past the yellow, and red would actually be lying 2 at the end of that. And I'm pretty sure at that point Parental Army goes, it's just not our day.
Right. Oh, that would be heartbreaking. But good for Chris.
And we have a final on D.
We appear to, but I don't know what that's going to be. The Sleepwalkers were up 6-3. So I don't quite know. I'll ask
That
Ben Joe
probably
when he comes in.
means that they probably won because.
Yeah.
So they probably scored at least 1 or 2, and that probably closed the game.
Right. I'll ask Ben Joe when he comes
All right.
in.
So Chris's stone is on the way. He's not getting to the left. All he did is jam. Oh. So that's also a way that you take care of that red stone is you let your opponent do the work for you. So yellow is getting ready to throw its hammer. And they're certainly lying 1.
Yeah.
If they can find a way to deal with that yellow stone that's on the tee over to the left of the center line in the middle of the 8-foot, they could conceivably score 5.
Right, yeah. Parental Army just needs to take. Well, I don't think they can score 5. I think that red.
You think that red is closer than that yellow behind that the back of those 2 yellows in the back?
Yeah. I mean, Again, I would want to measure.
I would probably want to measure, but even if they only get 4 is half of their deficit.
Absolutely, and then I would 100% go into the
Absolutely.
second end.
Yeah, if they can cut it to 4, then they definitely keep going.
Well, it looks like
But this is not a trivial shot. There is that yellow guard that they have to get around. Now, there's probably enough cut in the ice to do this. My actual concern right now is this line is very tight.
Is that the line that's been running super straight all
It
day?
has been running super straight, but they need it to curl some to get back to the red after it gets past the guard. Basically, the goal is Rachel Howell wants her stone to get past that top guard by the minimum possible.
And they're sweeping.
Yeah, it's already on the guard, so their only hope right now is to, oh, they're doing it that way.
Oh!
Okay. So, yeah, I didn't see that coming. That's at least a 4, maybe a 5. They're going to probably carefully pick out that top stone, and then they're going to take a close look.
Carefully.
Yeah, Mindy, do you know how to do a replay? Let's while they're looking at it, run that back for us.
Oh my God. Ken, where are you?
Replay about 30 seconds.
30 seconds. I don't think so. No,
Play,
I don't think I
and that's
can
now you
get
play.
it.
Now you hit the button that says, there it goes. So it did the hit, and it rolled in. So
Let me
there's.
see if I can do it again.
All right, they kicked the stones, so we have the score. Was it a 4 or was it a 5? It's a 5. Patrick Mahomes confirms the 5.
Holy cow.
So that makes it a 9-6 game.
They are back in it.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So when you're down 9-1, getting a 5 helps a lot. That is my philosophically brilliant statement for the day. So
Are they shaking?
they're still shaking? They got a 5 and they're still conceding? I cannot believe that.
Oh no, you gotta play. You have 2 more ends. You can take this.
It was a 5.
Yeah, it was a 5. Yeah, that was their 6th end. They scored 5 in the 6th.
We're very confused, but they conceded. They're not out of time. They still have 16 minutes that they can play. I do not understand this decision, but
Well, I mean, they are sort of, it's sort of weird because some of them are kind of chatting and some of them are cleaning up.
they shook. They
actually.
definitely shook, and they're mopping the sheet. The game is over. It has been declared a final. I don't understand the choice, but it is the choice that has been made. I guess their logic is, okay, we're down by 3 still. We just gave the other team hammer, and I feel like you try it, but there you go.
Amazing.
Okay. RPI defeats the Parental Army with a final of 9-6.
All right, well, let's go to,
Are we going to sheet C?
yeah, we're going to go to
All
sheet
right.
C. And sheet A is finished. They also have a final, but I don't have the score on that yet.
Sheet D, you mean?
Oh, D, yes, sheet
And that
D.
was, we believe it was Sweepwalkers who won that?
I believe it was Sweepwalkers that won it
Okay.
because they were ahead 16.
They were ahead and they shook, so we're pretty sure Sweepwalkers won on
Ask-
D. We're not 100% certain, but we're
let me
pretty
just
sure.
go Ask Benjo.
So that leaves us with just 2 games going on. We're going to focus on the sheet C game, which is currently playing its 7th end. And I'm going to update on sheet A as we can as well. They're in their 6th. They just finished the 6th. Not sure what the score was. Is somebody going to hang a number for us over on A? Doesn't look like it.
Yeah, sheet D shook because they Sleepwalkers had 10.
So they had already had 6, so they must have got another 4?
Yeah, they got another 4.
So that made
it
it 10 to 3. Okay, that explains the shake. Yeah, absolutely. All right, so the game on A is just now starting the 7th end, and I'm going to point out they've only got 14 minutes, so this is probably their last end. Red is throwing the stone, so they scored at least one last end.
I don't know. I mean, this is Red's 8th stone.
No, I'm talking about on sheet A. They're
sorry.
just starting the 7th end.
I apologize.
You're fine. Yeah, no, the game on C has plenty of time to throw to an 8th end. Red threw the first stone on sheet A, so they scored at least one, so they're up at least 5-3. They might have got 2, so it might be 6-3. We have a hog over on C. We have a hog over on C. Okay. And for those of you who may be tuning in a little early, expecting to see the 5 o'clock draw, the 5 o'clock draw is going to be a little late because we're still finishing up the 2:45 draw.
Correct.
Which didn't get started until about 10 after 3. We're running a little bit late.
Yeah,
it happens.
Yeah.
Now, if these games happen to end after 7, that will help us get a lot closer to back on schedule, but no guarantee that that'll occur. Is this the hammer coming in now?
This is the hammer.
This is the hammer on C. So they're trying to deal with the redstone on the button with a raised promoter there, and it's not going to happen. Red steals 1. That makes it a 6-4 game. Ace Trainers taking this long, slow road back, but
chiseling their way.
Chiseling their way back. They're at least close enough to throw the 8th end. They're going to have to steal 2 to tie. Completely doable. Steals of 2 are things that could occur. All right, over here on sheet A in the 7th end, which will be their final end. They hung the 6th end score. Red did only get 1, so they're up 5-3. That's Pittsburghers ahead of Gudetana on ice. Gudetana on ice will have the hammer, so getting 2 to force a tie is well within their powers of possibility.
I think this is Courtney's.
I know it's not mine. If it's not yours, it probably is.
I think you left your wallet here, but thank you.
Courtney Courtney drove home, so Courtney's not here.
Yeah, I will have a couple beers on you then, I think.
If anybody on the web stream has Courtney's phone number, you might want to give her a drop her a text.
Nick Datlow, can you text her and let her know?
Yeah, let her know she probably left her wallet at the commentary desk, and we will make sure that it gets someplace safe after the game so she can get it when she comes back.
I'll put it behind the bar.
That works.
They'll keep it safe. Thanks, Nick. I appreciate it.
Awesome.
Nick says on it.
Thank you, sir. All right, so on our feature sheet game here, Seat C, the mission is simple. Band of Johnson's job is to get rid of 7 Ace Trainer stones. Because Ace Trainers needs to steal 2. So that's how that goes. And basically, Ace Trainers are going to try to put up as many guards as possible so they can use them. Band of Johnsons, they can't hit until the 6th stone of the end because that's how that works. That's with the free guard zone, but as soon as they can, guarantee they're going to start getting rid of as much as they can in an attempt to get what they need gone.
Yeah, Tom, it is cocktail hour and Courtney's buying. Very nice center guard.
Yep, they're doing part 1 of the job, which is to put up the guards, and they can't hit yet because this is only the 4th stone of the end. So if you can't hit the guard, come behind the guard is what the call is. So, okay, they're going to tick. They ticked the guard over, so now there are no center guards. Everything's a corner guard. But, you know, a guard is a guard is a guard. We'll see how much attention the skip for ace trainers Jamie Bellefontaine was paying while he was asking us questions last night, because this was one of the situations that he inquired about.
Oh, did he really?
Yes.
Ironic.
So Henrique gave him some free discussion on how you were thinking about doing this. One thing that Henrique definitely said you should never do is you should never let your second hog their first stone.
I think that is correct. I think
And
that's
unfortunately, that is what was done. So that's a problem.
yeah, not great.
Beau Dure leaving his first stone of this final end of the game. We're just going to say woefully short. All right, so now hitting is a thing that can occur, and as you can see, they go in and they got rid of a guard. They also got rid of the shooter, so that's two. And the other guard did promote into the house, but that's perfectly acceptable for Band of Johnsons. They got rid of a stone, and they got rid of their shooter, so there's less stuff to hide behind available now.
Over on sheet A, the Pittsburghers scored 1 in the 6th end.
Yes, so they are now up to
5-3. Yep.
Guadatana on ice has the hammer in this 7th end, and they're working their way through it. This will probably be their last end, however.
How many more stones do they have?
Looks like they're about halfway through the end.
Okay. Yeah, they're not going to make it.
Probably not. All right, so Jamie draws into the top button. That is an interesting choice because that's completely exposed. Maybe what he's hoping is for a miss hit or a flash or something like that. I mean, when you're trying to steal 2, the other side is going to have to make a miss for you to succeed. And this is a little wide. Going to chop that top guy. No, it's going to actually kiss off that top guy, knock it out, and roll behind the cover. That was not how he meant to do it, but the job got done. And Jamie Bellefontaine, actually, if Jamie's thinking right, he's been handed an opportunity. Yep, okay, he's thinking right. He's playing the correct call. He's going to attempt to freeze on the inner corner of that. So that inner corner freeze it's not a guard, but it's protection. Because if he can get his vice to place this freeze perfectly, that stone's gonna be inaccessible. Front end is working on it.
Jamie calling him off.
Yep, because he wants more curl than he's going to get by the looks of things.
Yeah.
Although it is diving nicely, they're coming real close. Okay, they didn't quite get to the freeze, but it's not bad.
It's still totally exposed.
Yes, but it is potentially jammable.
That is true.
So that's helpful. It's not as great as it could be, but it could be much. It could also be way worse. So actually, sheet A is running this 7th end at a wicked pace. They're down to their final 4 stones. They've still got 5 minutes. They might actually make that 8th end.
Huh, how about that?
So they got the hit.
Very nice hit.
And rolled out. Jamie's now got a couple of problems to deal with. First off, he's got to get 2 points, but he's got to deal with the 2 yellows in order to get those 2 points. The challenges are growing, and the number of stones remaining is shrinking.
Calling them on, then off, then on.
Sweep up, sweep up, sweep up is kind of the skips code for it's real close.
Oh.
Because it is real close.
Real close.
That's about as good as you could really expect on it. So we're now down to the final Vice Stone for Band of Johnsons. Ace Trainers is starting to run out of material. They've only got 2 more stones that they could throw, but they do have 2 in the house. They're trying to get 2 to tie, 3 to win. It's not impossible, to be honest. If this hit goes, it'll go a long way towards taking care of the problem for Band of Johnsons.
Yeah. Oh.
They've got the first one. No, they did not get that out. I don't think.
It's going to still bite.
It might, or it might. If it depends on whether it spins
no,
back
they did
in.
Get it.
It did got out just barely out.
Oh my gosh. All right, you're a skip.
Yep.
What do you do?
So that yellow stone is above the tee. I try to freeze my stone on top of that yellow in the hope that the other team's attempt to deal with that misses. And then I can do a light tap with my final stone, getting rid of that yellow, and now my 2 reds are sitting there, and I'm challenging the other team to make that hit. And it's a long shot at this point. He needs some help.
Yeah, what was it Courtney was saying? I'd better be lucky than good.
At this point, he needs to be both.
He does need to be both.
He needs to throw his shots well, and he needs the luck of the other team missing the relatively open hit that's going to be left.
Yeah.
All right, we are down to 2 minutes and hammer. So actually, remember how I was saying Sheet A was not going to get their 8th end in? I think I lied.
What are they on?
They're on their hammer.
Oh, they're on
and
their
they have
hammer.
1:43.
Oh
so
my gosh. So the 5 o'clock draw is going to be a little late.
Yeah, 5 o'clock draw is going to be more to like 5:45.
Yeah. They're going to storm on. Some of our participants behind me, they're going to storm the ice, demand they play.
Can we cut over and see the CDA house?
I can do anything you want.
Wow. All right, so here we go. That hammer in the 7th end is on its way. That's the situation. Yellow right now looks like they're lying probably 3.
Yeah.
And okay, that
sure
didn't
3
matter. Now it's definitely 3. That's yellow 3. That's a 6-5, and they made it. Why are they? They're just counting, I assume.
They're
right?
just counting. Okay, so.
Yep. Play on.
So sweet.
They made it. Okay.
Well, and yeah, Gudetama now is up by 1.
Yep.
Look at they're sort of like, do we have time? Yeah.
Yes, you do.
You've got
Play
38
the 8th.
seconds.
Go.
Get that rock down that sheet.
You don't have to.
They've already.
It's It's the time clock is if you finish the 7th end,
Oh, okay.
you get to play the 8th.
Oh, I thought it was when you sent the.
No, it's when
okay.
you finish the previous. They do
I
that
see.
because otherwise, if there had to be like a measurement or something, that would kind of be unfair.
Oh, yeah, you're right. That would be unfair.
So, yep, they understand and they're going. And the only
Well,
people
and
who have a
here's-
problem with that is the ice crew.
And the 5 o'clock
and the
draw.
5 o'clock draw, which I am one of, by the way.
Well, and so here's this house at sea. So that's what JB ended up with.
Right. Is this the? This is not the hammer. It's the first skip.
This is the
first skip for Band of Johnson.
Yes, first skip.
So if he can take out, well, no, not actually true. Just Jamie's got material still. He can make his job a lot harder, or he can make it a lot easier, depending on how this goes. Oh, yeah, this has definitely got the hit. No, it did not.
Sorry, I just yelled at
I am that. Okay.
Yeah,
Let's see
Lisa,
here.
the 10 o'clock draw is going to be more like the 10:45 draw.
10 o'clock draw is going to be like the midnight draw at this pace. So
he did get lucky.
he needed that luck.
Uh-huh.
He's going to need luck again, because all he can really do is he's got to get a bite of that button. He's got to make that basically into a tight triangle,
Right.
and he's got to hope that Band of Johnson's skip misses it, which he just demonstrated an ability to miss a hit. So it could happen. But the first thing that Jamie has to do is he has to get this stone to be second shot.
Yeah, but he's demonstrating that to his sweepers right now.
Yeah, he's explaining,
where
this
it
is
needs
where
to
I
be.
need that. His best chance is to try to get that collection of stones as I don't have the right words to describe the geometry, but he wants to make a triangle with his 2 red and that yellow, and he wants his red that he's throwing right now to be directly in front of his current red,
Right.
touching that yellow, so that when the hit comes in, it'll hit that top red and dissipate the energy into yellow, and both of his reds might stick.
Right. Yep.
That's what he needs.
Well, let's see what he can. He needs a miracle.
It needs a hard. He needs a hard freeze. Feels a little heavy.
It's
If he
not
ticks,
curling enough.
it's not curling enough. It's heavy. No, he is. Well,
Oh.
it's curling now.
Get-
Did he get there? He didn't get. Did he get there?
Oh.
Red is sitting 1. Yellow does not have to throw. That's game. Do not do it. Do not do it.
Are they going to do it?
So,
They're Cody's down there cleaning the rock.
Cody can't. Cody doesn't know. Yeah. Okay. He needed to look at it for a second.
And
Take a second to make sure. Yep. That's
handshakes
it.
all around.
Yeah. 'Cause I mean, if the other technically you could make the other team throw it, but all they have to do is throw it to the sideline. Fine.
Right.
Whatever. There's no
Right.
point, and there's no point in doing that.
Right.
So, yeah.
Just walk that stone down.
Yeah,
here.
just walk that stone down, call it good. A valiant effort, but it comes up just short. So, as it turns out, the Band of Johnsons defeats Ace Trainers. Technically, it was a concession, so technically the final score is still that 6-4. There was no 8th end score
Okay.
because Band of Johnsons still had their last stone to throw. It's a weird rule, but that's the rule. Okay, unfortunately, I have to leave commentary because I got to get ready for my next game because I don't think they're going to give as much time between. So I got to go put on shoes and stuff. So it's all yours now.
Oh my God. Well, let's see if I can find somebody else to help because I don't know what I'm doing. Welcome, Beau Dure. You're back.
Am I?
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
So. Yeah, I can hear you just fine.
Okay, good. So I hope you all missed the first 5 ends of the game that I just played.
It was amazing. Just take a breath.
Okay,
You're good.
it did get interesting toward the end against a very good team.
Yeah, they saw it. Alan talked all about it.
Cool.
Yeah.
Alan, you say nice things about me?
Alan said nice things about everybody.
Excellent. Well, Alan's a nice man.
He is.
So we have. All right, so the Pittsburghers are down 1 to Gudetama with ice. Remind me where they're from?
I don't know where Gudetama is from. I'm so sorry.
Okay. Dave is going to fill me in. I am on commentary in the next game as well. Philadelphia. So it's Pittsburgh versus Philadelphia. Wow. Steelers versus Eagles.
It's a grudge match.
It is a grudge match. All right, this one, if they're trying to run theirs in, this could be good. If they're trying to do something else, I don't know. And, oh, no, I was wrong. That almost made it through the port. Did open things up. Okay.
So currently, Beau,
Yes.
the Pittsburghers are only down by 1. It's 6-5 right now, and Gudetama and Ice scored 3 in the 7th end to come back.
Ooh, I
from
see that.
being
That's
down
very
by
cool.
2. So this one is for all the marbles.
Okay, and we still have. Okay, is this the last Vice Rock?
This is the first Vice Rock.
Really?
I think so. Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4. Oh yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
They're hiding a yellow rot somewhere. All right, so looks like the intent here is to bury this under their guard. They're working hard for a line.
I don't think it's there.
It is not there.
It's going to be like a 2.
Yep. Quick reminder, we do have ties in these. So
Yeah, Alan went through and told me all about how the tie system works.
That's right.
It's almost like a half a win.
yeah, so if we had just if we had just managed to get that in and steal 2, we would have had the tie there. But we're happy.
Are you?
No.
I didn't think so.
But
you were being very generous with your.
But it was a good game, and we took it down to the end against a very, very good team. So this one looks like, is it going to get past that guard? Yeah, I'm in a bad angle to tell whether or not it is, but it is going to be a pretty decent takeout, and this might stick around, and it does. The shots that you don't think will matter, but then at the end you go, why? What is that rock doing there? Help. Brian Nodall says we should also bring Tony Bomber into the guest commentate. I wholeheartedly agree with that. We played Tony in our first game, and they killed us, but they were really nice. And Tony is a trip. All right, so.
Second Vice Stone for the Pittsburghers.
Yeah, I think the obvious
Carson
play.
Turner.
Yep, obvious play here is to try to bury it. This looks a little hot to me. Looks a fair amount hot to me. Looks a good bit hot to me. And can he sweep it out?
No, it's
and I think that outcounts. That does. That outcounts the yellow.
Yeah, that is shot.
Okay. I'd like to give a shout out to my kids who are doing who knows what, and they're not watching this, so I don't know why I'm giving them a shout out. Mindy, are your kids watching?
Let's see what time it is.
They should be out of school by now.
Yeah, they're watching.
All right.
Hi, boys. Tell Dad I said that you can have pizza or sushi.
Nice. Are you here for the next game?
I might be, yeah.
Okay.
But I won't be operating.
Okay, I signed up to commentate because no one else had done it, and when I realized what my game times were, then.
No, I'll set up the system.
All right.
But then I'm gonna
Appreciate
go and
that.
have some dinner.
So yeah, I am going to get. A second. All right. Cody Johnson getting my drink for me, like a nice guy who just beat me. And, is this light or this?
It's
They're
pretty
giving
light.
up on it.
I don't think it's going to make. Well, no, it is going to make it over.
It's going to make it
gonna
over,
be a real,
but
real high guard.
yeah, the chain sandal, yeah, because the question about guard is guarding. Sometimes the question is guarding what, and all right. So that was for skip rock, right?
That was the first. That was the first. Yeah, first skip rock.
All right. Thanks.
The Pittsburghers having a really long look at what pathway they want to take through.
Yep. And of course, in the once you get past the time control to play the 8th end, you can take as long as you want. I say that as someone who spent about 2.5 hours on the ice in his first game today.
Looks like they figured it out.
So, whew, yeah, Mindy, I am too old for this.
Are you, Beau?
I am. Okay, I'll rephrase. I'm too out of shape for this.
Yeah, well, me too.
See, wait till you're my age.
How old are you?
I'm 52.
Okay, I'm not quite your age yet, but I'm real close.
I appreciate that you sound like you thought I was younger. I'm just immature. Are they trying to slide this through their port? Or
I mean, they've got to be.
yeah, that's the only shot I can see here. They don't, and they are, but can they make it stick? Are they going to take theirs out? They need to stick.
Odd.
They need to. Okay. Wow, that could have been a disaster. Not really sure what the call was there. But they are still shot. They have hammer. And for Gudetama to get a win out of this game, they're going to have to do something about that rock back there. They need to somehow get to that rock, and then even then, there's a wide open draw to tie.
The ice team already on the ice, getting everything ready so that we can really just.
Oh yeah.
All we have to do is scrape it, or not scrape, but like nip and pebble the A sheet, and
Yeah.
then they can get right into the 5 o'clock.
Oh yeah,
draw.
they hang over us like vultures, as they should.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Shot on the way. Looks a little bit light for a takeout, but that might be a
It's a
good
little
thing.
heavy for a
Through the
draw.
port, is it going to get to the red?
No, it's going to blow right by it.
It's Cody.
Oh no, it's stuck around.
It's stuck around. Is it shot?
Ooh, that's a better question.
Ooh. Yeah, from that angle it does look like a red. Now we're.
Oops. Near.
All right.
Near.
Is there a consensus here that is red?
I think it's yellow.
Red has hammer, yeah, so.
I think yellow is shot.
That's true. And is that where you would put the broom to touch the yellow? Or would you come in off the wall side? You would come in off the wall side.
Well,
Dave.
on the wall side, you run the risk of hanging it up. Because
Sure.
sometimes if you get too close, it just doesn't curve over.
Okay. So, not the wall side. Last shot of this draw. Try to sneak it through the port, but have it curl over and get the yellow and not their own red. Curling nicely through that port. Oh, wow. Oh, this looks good. This looks very good. What a nice shot by the Pittsburghers for
That's
what
true.
we're assuming is the win. Oh, that's definitely the win. Are they going to measure this? No, they're shaking hands.
No, they're shaking. So
Yeah.
2.
All right, we're wrapping it up quick. Thank you all. I'm Beau Dure. She's Mindy. I'll be back for the next draw. Peace and love. Bye-bye.
Bye.